Preview. 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 Preview.
Hey, you are tuned in to the Chantel Hart Show Live. Thank you and welcome. It's almost Mother's Day. I am devastated because I do not have my children with me, and I hope that the ones that are not with me walk through the door. For the surrogate ones, it's been a disappointment, a lot of childish gain, a lot of misunderstanding, although the children had to be away because of a lot of conspiracies. It was very dangerous in the surrounding because obsessors and cult ritual freaks put the children in danger and hurt them sexually. Sex cults, trafficking, gang-related, loyalty sex activities, rituals that had to be performed against our will. That's been from the time I was maybe a little girl to womanhood, and I've been going through rape and kidnappings, trafficking, and all those things that I encounter: abuse, molestation with these men's and certain relatives, cousins, and incest, and things like that people want to hide and don't want to talk about. I opened a psychology office, women's study psychology degree, expertise, and special company in mental health issues and reform, and activists and journalism, as a radio announcer featuring these disturbing topics. What I want to, I hate that I have to start my show off all over the world with a topic like this. There's kick butt music that starts the program, and then this comes. But this, you are tuned into, it's time to speak out. So this is the expertise, serious side of business. Investors looking for shows and podcasts and API things to invest in and collaborate with, for my up and coming shows to collaborate. So thank you for listening. Thank you for the most requested morning and evening playlist, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and maybe even teens that are listening and have their podcast out here. Thank you for the platform, Spreaker, that we are partner with. Thanks, a special thanks, all-time high thanks to Spotify, who has given me my most plays. I am shocked, but I think you also know who I am in the content, as me being the buyer investor of the platforms that I've lost due to hostile takeover, and that I still have gained and maybe possibly can return, but in a different way. Maybe not sitting there with the seats that I sat there, that I was removed from, as far as the office seats of the record labels and publishing. So we'll see how we can work our way around this. I wrote a decree as ambassador, royal queen of foreign adopted islands that I have not returned to, that I'm awaiting to return to, in Trinidad. And all these bombings have been horrific and a lot of destruction. Indonesia, Asia, China. And these are a lot of my largest investments that I'm going to reinvest in again. So, all is not lost, and prayers for those, even Americans, because I am born American, Indiana, South Bend, and grew up kind of all over the place, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan areas, and those are great places to live as well. So getting into the show, Time to Speak Out. Welcome to Time to Speak Out. This will be a disturbing, explicit show. Hopefully I will not try to use anything explicit as much as I can. It may be, maybe I can count on my hand. One hand involves 5 fingers. So maybe that's about maybe how many ruthless, explicit words you might hear. And that's because of the content of my show. Okay? I want to say, in therapy, I'm going to be talking about rehab time. If they love you like they say, then they wouldn't treat you like they do. Words lie, actions don't. And that's hashtag rehab, hashtag the Chantel Hart Show blog, hashtag rehab time, hashtag abuse, and also let's throw Oprah in there. And I would love for her, Oprah Winfrey, out of Illinois, and now in California to sponsor the show. So hopefully you can tell my good former friend I've not heard from, seen, and who has been lied to, that I am still not where I need to be as ID theft victim recovery. And I appreciated her Time's Up campaign because it is definitely pointing in the direction where I sit as an ID theft victim as of May 2019. Last time I've been to court was January 29th, 19 in Macon County Courthouse in Macon County, Decatur, Illinois. For this, sometimes emotional abuse is so bad that a person can actually start believing what their partner says. This is very disturbing. I also have a piece of paper from therapy. The judge recommended that I go to therapy and get some help because I've been through a lot. And I couldn't agree with him more, although it was so annoying. Because I hadn't been there so long. I hadn't been to my own company offices as a therapist. And here I am, an awarded therapist. And yeah, I'm sitting in therapy with nothing. And who would listen to me now? Well, like they always tell me, the therapists, the individuals there, the clients, the patients, the angels, church goers, I'm sorry, there seems to have been a glitch in my show. I don't know what that was about. I was saying I have the support that I need. And 5 ways to not be used. Believe. Apologies. Don't fall in love with potential. Number 3, believe all red flags. Do not ignore them. Number 4, know your worth. Because he tells you you're beautiful, because he touches you and you feel a new way, or you feel a familiar way that your abuser have touched you, and it makes you feel some kind of way. Those are trickery things that the abuser comes to bring you. Psychopath, sociopath, narcissist. And I'm going to read to you a pamphlet after these 5 ways to not be used. Know your worth. And number 5, don't lower your standards. Again, that's like number 4, know your worth. Don't lower your standards. Don't belittle yourself. A lot of times, ambassadors like myself, moguls, civil rights leaders, whoever you are, politicians, lawyers, doctors, people talk about you. Oh, she was a thought. She was a whore. She was a slut. She was a bitch. She was a junkie. We always knew she had drinking problems. Here's the thing about that. Witchcraft is a powerful source. And in that, that's spirituality. And that's when we have to go on our knees and build a relationship with God. For the simple fact that this is why we lose. And it's why I lost. Needing that extra touch from something that was familiar but wasn't right, and or experiences too young, maybe an experience of sexual activity or a raping session that happened or passed around, and it caused your body to crave and ache for sexual attention, or that sensation or feeling again. And this is where it's dysfunctional. It is not right. It is a sin. It is torturous. It causes us to relapse, collapse. I'm speaking also from experience of all these things. I am a spokesperson. I opened these companies as an ambassador to these things. You're told back then you can speak about it. My therapist, one of them, brought up a very great point. Now, the therapist I'm going to speak about, she is not my therapist, but I tend to go to her when I miss out on my class sessions. And one of the therapists that I've seen, she tends to talk about she talked about her experience of having her father not be there as supportive as he needed to be, drinking, alcoholic, not supportive in words, not paying attention. Like most working dads come home and be, it was the Al Bundy-ish type of lifestyle. And we all know Peg and Al Bundy and the kids. Al comes home, sits down, drinks, rough kind of trailer trash kind of family. And/or they wasn't trailer trash. They had to come up after a while, I guess. But they had the image sort of kind of one. And he comes in, he was rude. They were sort of kind of like the empty-headed rock stars. Doesn't matter the color or the culture. It just was the sloppy or the slouchiness, the disrespect, the abuse, the name-calling. And/or because that was probably the way they were brought up. And so she shared, don't allow or be with a spouse or hang out with friends or even belittle your own self for that matter, getting caught up in the hype of having to fit in, know your worth, know that you don't have to fit in. And because you like the way this group looks, smell, eat, what they wear, what they drive, what is the cost? What do you have to do to be in these organizations, in this crew, to walk down on the same side of the street with these fashionistas, with the mean girls, with the popular girls or the popular crew or boys, or the gang, the squad, the crew. No, there is a cost for everything. And each individual, there's going to always be somebody, young or old, elite, politician, school, neighborhood, around the way, team, that you're going to come across that's going to tell you, get out of here. Or this is not for you. And or sometimes that person perishes, which means they die. They get hurt. They get bandaged up in a coma and can't speak and talk about it for the rest of their life. Or in silence and only some of their limbs work and they have the right awkward or some type of paralyzed situation happens where they can't mental attack, where they're beaten their head and memory loss, attacks, ID theft, conspiracies, you name it, is a part of the game that we're talking about tonight. I'm about 24 minutes into the show. For those in Eastern time, it is 7:10 p.m. On my laptop, but actually I think that means 6:10 p.m. here in the studio of Springer on the Chantel Hart Show blog. Thanks again to Spotify for all your love. This topic is so intense. I've just begun talking about it, and I'm already having to catch some breaths and get myself together here. But this is what I'm here for. It's time to speak out. So remember to know your worth, okay? Don't let anybody use you. It's not worth it. Know the patterns. If you recognize it from growing up, your teacher, someone in your neighborhood, in your church, in your after-school curricular academics program, online, do not deal with this situation. Contact the local NAACP, the local therapy association, your local police department, local law enforcer, entertainment liaison, your local attorney, legal aid if you cannot afford an attorney. If they do not do it, contact the Federal Trade Commission. That's F.T.C. and you keyword these words Google. Okay, that means for you who are listening, who are young and or your understanding is not there, go to google.com, google.com. Have someone to help you on the internet, online, with a browser, with internet or Wi-Fi service. Log in and keyword law enforcement. Okay, keyword legal aid. You can even click the mic icon. When you get ready to search, there will be a mic icon usually in the upper right hand side of the browser. And I'm sorry, not the browser, but the search engine page, and some title it SEO. So you can speak it into Google or your browser and it will come up as what you are searching for and give you lists in your area of what you're searching for.
TuneTank.com. 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 TuneTank.com.